Sunday. Hope you're doing well today. I'm so excited to stream some Super Dice Heroes today. I've got my chat pulled up here. There's Mac. What's up, bud? Oh my goodness. This has been quite a journey. I'm so excited to have the Sunday crew here to get to experience this Dice in the Darkness. Oh my gosh, M. Peebles. Oh my gosh. Hey, buddy. Captain 100, careful. Not too much ego. There's Steph. Back for another go. The Sunday crew. Mac, you do have a very good hashtag game. I love it. And Peoples, I was enjoying your stream the other day. You're my inspiration. I feel like I need like some sort of thing in the background here. Like I wouldn't be here without M. Peoples. I wouldn't have made it. Oh my goodness, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic to play this. Oh no, I made it too big. I didn't check it. I don't have a guitar. I do. That's I do. I am in no way a good guitar player. I just chord enough to get by. But maybe we should have a special Dice in the Darkness song. That's right, MP. That's right, Mac. He does have a lot to answer for. Jojo, you're just in time. Actually, you just missed the song. I worked really hard on it, and it was once in a lifetime. It won't be on the replay. Sorry, you missed it. No, I am about to teach. No, I'm not going to sing. Maybe. Maybe one day. Not today, but today we are going to go on an adventure. Down into the dungeon. No, you didn't miss it, Jojo. I am ready for you, though, Jojo, to get one more than me on this room. Y'all have good hashtag game. Mech is a troublemaker. Now it's just sentences with a hashtag before it. Claire, woo! What's up, Claire? Claire, you have like a fan base. Like you get mentioned one time on M People's stream, and it's like Claire, 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 Claire. Happy for you to join in. So hey, I'm going to share a couple links here because there is a little bit of setup for this game and a little bit of explaining, especially for this first go. There's a little bit more that it entails. So the first thing you need to decide is you need to decide a character to choose. So I just shared in the chat that. Also, let me share this as well. You can go directly to this. I have a WordPress website that I put together. Nothing fancy, but this also has all the links there. But if you want to go directly to a Dropbox link, I just shared a character one. So you can choose from one of 3 characters. You can be a rogue, a warrior, or a wizard. And you're going to take that character through the entire dungeon over these next 10 weeks. Oh my gosh, what a commitment. Over these next 10 weeks, you'll actually take that same character and run it through every room, and you'll get to upgrade that character. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to have printed out, and I'm going to explain that in just a second. The other thing to have printed out or to pull up on your computer or iPad or whatever device you're using is this week's room, the first room, which is an ogre greeting. So I just shared that in the chat also. So those are kind of the 2 things. There's also rule sheets. I'll share that here, but I'm going to explain all the rules. So in all honesty, you don't even need to look at the rule sheet right now. But I wanted to have the rules done, and so I can upload them, and so folks that don't join in on the stream, they can read the rules and have it all set. I will say this. I was finalizing room 2 yesterday. It is fully done. I'm just excited. So this is going to be quite a journey for us. So, is everyone good? Should I start explaining? Are we all right? And I shout out to my wife, Lauren. She is very creative and very good with words. She's helped with, there's some story for this. So she's helped the story sound a lot better. So we'll get to that in just a sec. I'm coming back from a dog training class. Dog training class, puppy training. Learning a lot about puppy training. Positive reinforcement, all that fun stuff. Good, you're ready? Excellent. Good. We'll have a good range. A lot of rogues did really well on Thursday. I think the rogue is a pretty good class. I was a wizard on Thursday. I really enjoyed it. Tonight I'm going to be the warrior. Not good. The puppies were not good at the class. That's why we're all there taking it. Oh my gosh. There's Jay Varga and Chantel. Hello, hello. It was good to get to join in for a sec on Friday night with y'all. I hope Metro X was great. Your explanation was superb. I can't wait to play it myself. Very good. Jeeple and Cheeple. Oh, y'all are great. Good. So if everyone's ready, very good. Hello. We got a good crew here. Thank y'all for joining in today. I'm going to go ahead and go to the table. I hope the angle is right here. I got a new webcam. It's not in right now. I just got it today, and so I'll have it for the next stream. But as I was looking back, I think the quality of this one that I have is not super clear. So if you have the papers in front of you, it's great because you can follow right along. But if you don't, it's pretty difficult to actually see what's going on the table. So my hope is that this next webcam will help with that. I've been like doing all these YouTube tutorials of appropriate light for streaming and how to do all that jazz. We're learning, so we'll get better and better as we go. All right, so let me, if you'll grab your character sheet. Have you? That's right. It's been so long. Also, let me share this link. This is totally optional, but this is a fun thing put together. Is a little dog standee I just shared in the chat there. So if you want to print off a dog standee, a little picture of your dog, then you can be, as we play, be reminded of why we're doing what we're doing. So I'm going to lay my little dog standee right here. Named it Bella after our beloved dog we lost this past year. Sweet pup. So I've got Bella here. We're going to try to rescue. Railroad Inc. What a good game. Some good rolling rights. Oh, good. Tux. I like that. Any reason why? M. Peebles? I do like that name. Anyone have a pet at home? Do y'all have animals? Dogs? Cats? It really can be, can it? Railroad Inc. can be a very thinky game. I do like that they offer two different versions of it. Pretty creative. Oh, very good. Jay and Chantel's dog is Tux. Man, Mac, I feel ya. I'm so sorry. Yep. You have a cat and your dog passed away last year. Yeah, that is very difficult. I'm so sorry that happened. It's called Floofwoof. Floofwoof? What a great name. Luna. But we know her as Floof. Oh, this is great, y'all. It's good to hear about your pets. Yeah, Mac, losing your dog is losing a beloved family member. You know that. Yep. So sorry. You played the River expansion earlier. Really? Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Nicknames are good. They're fun. Okay, so let's delve in here to this character, your character sheet. I'll kind of walk through each thing. It's in all honesty, it might be a little bit of information overload just in this very first go. So I want you to just hang on tight for the ride, and then we can get a good idea of this. And then all of this it's really, some of this is not super relevant right now, but it'll play out in the weeks ahead. And I really want you to have a good handle on it now so you kind of can have an idea what your character is about. So the first thing we get to do is you get to choose your class, right? And then you get to name your character. So I need to come up with a good warrior name, and then you can name your dog here. I'm not quite sure what a good warrior name is. You know, I played a great warrior in D&D with our crew. It was a couple years ago now, but I named him Blood. He was a barbarian. I like playing the big character that doesn't take too much thinking with their decisions. Hey, 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 come here. That's good, Jay. I don't know, what's a good warrior name? It needs like a, I'll name him Axe. Wizard Jeff. Ama, all right. Ama. Axe. How about Axe Ama? Axe Ama. Seems intense. All right, that'll be my warrior. Axe Ama. Rawr. All right, so this character sheet has a couple different areas to it. Up here, right under your class, it has your upgrade area. It has strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Over the game, you're going to get to upgrade that from your skill tree. And every room after this first room, it will check those upgrades. And you'll get additional bonuses depending on how far along on those tracks you are. So you might get to a room that it'll say, if you have 2 or more on your strength track, then gain this bonus. That would be an example of one. Or it may say, if you have any X's in your intelligence, gain this bonus. So that's kind of, you know, you make it like a D&D character. So my warrior, am I going to make it like really strong and then I'll get bonuses that reflect that? Or is it going to be like a very intelligent warrior and then I'll get bonuses that reflect that as well? So just what those are. If you notice right above those tracks, there are little icons. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Above those tracks is this little symbol, this arrow icon. There's like a fist and someone running and a brain. Those are the strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Let's look down at this skill tree. Each character's skill tree is just a little different. The warrior's is pretty linear, and then it branches off into these. It looks like a big battle axe. The wizard has a book that kind of has these different tracks you can go on. And the rogue has 4 daggers. And you can start on any one of those, and you can jump to any one at any time. This is kind of like a little mini game of a roll and write. As you get skill tree points, for every point you get to mark an X. And this has an arrow here, so I would start here. So let's say I got 3 skill tree points. I don't have any choice. I just would mark an X, an X, and an X. Whenever you cover up one of those, like I would mark this upgrade, that's when I would get to choose to mark 1 X in one of these of my choice. I'm over here explaining. I'm not paying attention to the chat. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you need a rogue name. Did we get a rogue name for Steph? Mac. Steph, who were you on Thursday? Were you a wizard? Oh, I love it. Steph the rogue and Tana the dog. Fizzgig is. Ah, Dark Crystal. We were just talking about that. Man, Jay, I enjoyed our little chat about the behind the scenes of those things. We were talking about the Muppets. Talking about Dark Crystal. Ah, very good. A wizard. Okay. Okay, thanks, M Peoples. Okay. All right. I'm going to close the chat window. No. Yes. Very good. So, Jojo, very good. I have let me grab it right here so I can show you. Here's my wizard from Thursday. The only thing with X's is you just need to, the next place you write an X, it needs to be connected to a previous X. So as I go along this track over the weeks, say I get to this point, I can choose to mark my next X here, here, or here. And then if I say I could like get to this one, then I could stretch down here and go to this one. Because if you notice, there's a lot of those upgrade arrows. Every one of those, you'll get an upgrade in one of your tracks of your choice. But then there's also a couple other symbols. Let me show it. Here's the wizards. It's a spell book. So you see I started here. I decided to just go along this track, and I got all the way to this B2. That was sweet because the B's and the A's and then the number coordinate over here to some upgrades you can get. We'll get to that in just a second as well. Oh, that's the ogre from last week. Here we go. I got the wrong paper. The rogue is more unique. So in this way, you have a choice of where to start. If you wanted to, you potentially could do an X and then jump over here and do an X. And then be like, you know, I'm going to go a little further here. I'm going to jump to this one and do X's here. So you can start and jump anywhere you want with the rogue. But you see kind of at the end of each one of those tracks is where you can get with those bonuses. So you may want to read, especially if you're the rogue, your bonuses first, and that might help you figure out which dagger you want to start on. Cool. Okay. So let's look back here. I'm going to use the warrior one. So the A's coordinate up with these 4 battle abilities, is what they're called. The B's coordinate with these 4 special power abilities. And then there's also 3 of these symbols. They're like a hand that have like glowing hands. And those coordinate up in the corner here with special power uses per room. Okay? Let me explain what all those different things do. Let's look first at the battle abilities. There are certain rooms that are battle rooms. And these are going to be special upgrades for you that you can use energy in that room and then spend it to get this special ability. The warrior starts with this one, double strike. We all start with 1 battle ability and 1 special power. So right now I have double strike, so I can spend 4 lightning bolts, 4 energy to get 2 swords. I'll explain all that when we get to our room. But look, as I progress, maybe I get to A2 and now I have a throwing axe. That gives me, for 5 energy I can spend, and I can get a bow and arrow and a stun. So those are used specifically for battle rooms, which there are a couple of those over the 10 rooms. So there will be rooms that actually your battle abilities don't matter. The warrior, he doesn't need battle abilities, pardon me. His battle abilities don't matter when he's trying to do an intelligence check thing, or when he's trying to use dexterity to jump across a chasm. His battle abilities don't matter. But during a fight with one of the monsters, it really matters. So that's what those are coordinated with. The special powers are down here. And we all start with 1 special power, the first one that's unlocked. The warrior has flex, which is to change a die to a 5. Focus. Distract. Oh, I need to add that command. Oh my gosh. So the way this works is we all start with 1 special power use. So at one time during the room, you can spend your special power to change a die to a, for me it would be to change it to a 5. Now I only get to use that one time. Whereas these special, the battle abilities, they can be used multiple times as long as you have energy in a battle room. These special powers can be used in all of the rooms, but you have a limited number use. So, if you look down here, that's why there are these along the track, and that gives you additional uses for each room. If you unlock all those, by the end of it, we're going to have potentially 4 special power uses, and depending on how many special powers you have unlocked, you have some choices. If I had, say, 3 of these unlocked and I only had flex unlocked, I would just be able to use flex 3 times. All right, good solid name, Joe. I like it. Bubble Joe, excellent. The Bubble Crew. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, does all of that make sense for the most part? So here, in all actuality, all you need to worry about right now is just this and this, and your skill tree doesn't even matter yet because we're not getting any skill points right now. So I just wanted to talk about it as we get rolling. All right, let's look down here at this zone. There are all these little trophies. Each character has 3 unique achievements that as we play, as we get to specific rooms, you can try to unlock these achievements. That may be kind of a stretch, what you wouldn't normally do, but you could try to do it. And if you get that achievement, then you would get 3 skill tree points to spend in your skill tree. I got one with my wizard on Thursday, and it felt awesome. So this one of mine says, in a battle, deal 5 or more damage in 1 round. Well, this first room is going to be a battle, so I might try to get that this round. My next one is squish 4 or more spiderlings. It doesn't tell you what room these are for, so some of it is you just need to read these, and then when that situation comes up, be aware. And then this last one says defeat 6 or more shroomers in a room. Okay. Here's this last middle section here is there are 10 bones. We're going to play over 10 rooms, and there are 10 bones. There's 1 bone in each room. This is for your dog that you're going to hopefully rescue by the end of this adventure. And for every hidden, well, they're really hidden, but for every bone in each room that you find, you get 1 extra campaign point. Let's look really quick down here at our 10 rooms. Each room, you'll get a specific score for that room. Some of the rooms will be like maybe 10 points. Some rooms will be like 30 or 40 points. But at the end of each room, it converts that into a campaign score. And every room, your campaign score will be either 3, 4, or 5 points. And after the whole game, you'll add up all your campaign scores to see what your final score is. And that's where the bones come in. For every bone you find, every one of those is an extra campaign score point at the end of the game. Okay. Also, this is how you get more skill tree points, is at the end of each room. For how many campaign score points you get, you will get a skill tree point. So if I were to say get 4, I would get to at the end of that room to apply 4 skill tree points there. What? Are you serious, Steph? Wait, there's a winky face. She's not being serious. I missed some of the chat. Yes, those are bones for your dog. Oh my gosh, Jojo. These are not your dog's. These are not the bones of your dog. These are bones for your dog. Oh my gosh, this is dark. No. These bones are, as you're in a room, you're like, you know what, I'm going to pick up this treat for my dog. And then when we find your dog at the end of the story, you're going to celebrate and give your dog all these bones that you found. And the dog will be like, oh my gosh, not only did you rescue me, you've been thinking about me along every single room. Wow, it is. I know, right? This is really dark. I specifically had on that survey before someone say, I like things not very dark. I like things much lighter, more fun, more silly. Oh no. I guess so. I guess they are. I wanted at one point to make them all like special, like dog toy, like a trail of crumbs, or like it would be your dog leaving special toys that they had, but it just was too confusing to have a bunch of like 10 unique toys that all basically did the same thing. So they're bones. All right. Any questions about a character sheet? Because I'm about to read some story. We're going to get into it. It's really dark in here. I can have a little light on. Are we okay? It'll be better next stream for this. All right. On your rules, if you want to download the rules at some point, they are their story along there. I'm going to read it to us. Flavor text. Yep, here we go. So you need, everyone will have one character sheet, and then everyone also will have their own unique room. We'll all be playing the same room, but everyone will need their own page. And then we're all going to use the same dice. So I'll be the dice roller, and we'll use those same dice for it. Gosh. All right, here we go. A blur of purple rushes down the stairs and into the darkness. The creature looked like a mushroom with legs and arms and a face. The last thing you saw was your beloved dog. Insert name here. Held by this ghoulish creature, looking at you for help. You must rescue your loyal companion. You hurry down the steps, walking into a cold, damp, mossy room. Lying on the floor is a large, green ogre. It rubs its eyes, looking annoyed, as if it had just awakened from a nice slumber. Beyond the ogre is the only door, leading deeper into the dungeon. Whoever or whatever stole your dog has woken this ogre from its slumber, and the old adage from your childhood rings in your head. If you wake the ogre that was sleeping, you'll be the one who is weeping. The ogre grabs a wooden whacking club and stands up. It's taller than you thought. The ogre screams, "Blargarg," which loosely translates to, "How dare you wake me from my slumber, you tiny, spineless child of an imp? Now I shall defeat you in a duel." You pause a moment to be thankful that you took that intro class in basic ogre dialect. You shout, "Blar, blar, blarg," which loosely translates to, "Do you know where the library is located?" The ogre lunges towards you. The battle begins. All right, we're going to learn how to fight this ogre. Here is our ogre buddy. You can write your character name and your class up here at the top. I am X. I am a warrior. Blarg. What does it mean? I don't speak it. Or Dutch. All right, so this is a battle room, and we're going to go back and forth. We'll get to do our action, charge. We'll get to do our action, and then the ogre will do their action. And then we'll do our action, and then the ogre will do their action. We'll go back and forth. If you look at this zone here, these are the rounds. The red is the ogre's actions. So we'll use these 2 dice, we'll roll, and I'm going to scooch up just a tad. There we go. We'll roll, and then we will put those numbers in. Then with one of the dice, we're going to choose to advance one of these areas in the middle. With the other die, we will get to do an action down here. Our goal is to knock out all the hearts of the ogre. If we knock out all the hearts, we have defeated the ogre. We're trying to do that before the end of the 20th round. If we can do that, we get 10 bonus points. Hooray! We can do it. We can do it. The way we deal damage to the ogre is with swords, the sword icon, and also with the bow and arrow icon. Okay. So if we look here, when we choose to advance something, we choose one of these 4 areas to advance. This is like a little mini game. This is the roll and write aspect of the game. In the A zone, it is, you start here, and whatever the number is on the die, you get to mark that many X's along the track. So the higher the number, the better it is. So this is great when you have a 6 here. Then I would mark 6 X's along this track. If ever you mark something and there's an icon there, you immediately get that icon. So this has a star. Stars are victory points. Down here is your little hero area. This is kind of your stats. If you ever lose all your hearts, you get knocked out. I'll get to that in just a sec, what happens when that happens. But you look down here, this is where, when you unlock it, you just circle a star. Stars are just victory points at the end of the game. It used to be gold, so think like that kind of thing. You're getting money, you're getting victory points. That ups your final score to hopefully get a better campaign score as we play. And also to rub it in that JoJo beat you, because that happens. So that goes along the track. If you also look closer, it's kind of hard to see here, but if you ever go along the track, each one of these has a little die symbol with an unlock. It looks like a little padlock that's unlocking, but it has a die at the bottom of it. If you ever hit one of those, that unlocks a die here down in your action area. I'll get to that in a second as well. So that's the A zone, is just whatever the number is, you move that many. You could choose to go and put something in the B zone. This is for, it goes from left to right, and then it wraps around here and goes down to the next row. You're trying to get numbers that are equal to or less than the number that's in there. The first one here is a 5. It's less than or equal to 5. So I couldn't put a 6 in there, but if I had a 4, I could just mark an X there, and I would get the bonus that's immediately above it. You see that it gets harder and harder to put numbers in. It eventually gets to where it's 2 or less. That's the B zone. I could choose with one of the dice. Instead of those, I could put it in the C zone. Goes from left to right. The first number can be any number, and you see if as soon as you put that in, you'll get an energy. And then the next number that you would put in on another round, it needs to be plus or minus 1. It needs to be greater than or less than 1 of that number. So say I put a 4 in there, the next number would need to be a 5 or a 3. Also, this does not wrap around, so if you put a 6 in there, the only choice for your next number would be a 5, or if you put a 1 in, the next number choice would only be a 2. It doesn't wrap around to the 6 or to the 1. All right, the D zone. This is more like a top-down map, and you're kind of expanding, searching in the dungeon. You start in the middle. There's an X already there. And from there, you can go up, down, left, or right, orthogonally, out of that zone, and you just need the number to exactly match the number that you're Xing. So with a 4, I could mark this literal 4 right here. And then in the future, you can mark an X coming off any previous X you've marked there. So I could then have access to the 2, 6, and 1, but also still previously the 5, 2, and 3. I majored in this one on Thursday night, and it worked pretty well. Because if you see, in all the zones, there are those unlock dice. There's also sometimes just straight up damage. Wait a minute. What's that? What is this? It's a bone. It's a very blurry bone. So if you want to try to get the bone in this room, you would need to put a 3 here and then put a 5 here. If you can see also, see how there's like little lines connected? That is so blurry. You can kind of see it though. All right, I hope that wasn't too much movement. You can also get hearts, you can get shields, you can get all the things in this zone. But when we roll those 2 dice, the first die you'll choose is you assign it to one of those areas to advance your character. I think that's what it was, Steph. Oh, Will Cook, what's up? How are you? Oh dear. Hopefully not too much there, bud. All right, crew. So all of that advancing and all that jazz is down here for this action. You're kind of upgrading your character as we go. Currently, we just have the first thing unlocked for each die number. Hey, that's great. So glad you stopped by. Hey, I'm glad you got to play some games in real life. That's really good. Good. Yeah, this isn't water I have here. All right, crew. Correct, Jojo. Yep. So there are specific number unlocks. Like this one right here is a 1. And they're color coordinated just to make it a little easier because it's kind of information overload the first time you play. But when you unlock one of those, you unlock the leftmost icon in that row. So if I were to hit this purple 1, I would get to come down here to this 1 and then circle the leftmost icon. By the time you get to the end of those rows, they're pretty powerful abilities. Here's the reason why that's important, because with the second die that I use, I activate my action, and I get to do every one of the icons I've unlocked. Currently, if I put a 5 here, I would get a sword, so I would get to do the sword action. But if I had unlocked the sword and then this shield from the advancements, then I would get both a sword and a shield. So sometimes you unlock something all the way and there's 4 icons, and then you're getting a ton of bonuses, and it feels great because you're just like living the dream doing that stuff. Does that make sense? So it's pretty, and also you activate your advancing first, so you could unlock a die, and then with the other die, if it matches, get that bonus immediately. Ooh, Potion Explosion, we love that game. Oh, that's so good. I like that. My daughters like that game too. It's a fun theme. It's like Harry Potter knockoff. It's great. Okay, let me explain what all these other icons do, and then we'll be ready to roll. All right, so the shield absorbs sword damage. The bow and arrow deals direct damage straight to the heart. So if we dealt enough bow and arrow damage, we potentially could knock out this ogre. We could knock out this ogre even while they still have a bunch of shield left. But we need to be very careful also, because we could have like 4 or 5 shield and only be down to 1 heart. And if you notice, the ogre has a couple of those direct hits, the bow and arrow. So his plan is all laid out here, so you got to think a little bit ahead for that so you don't get knocked out. The energy. You get energy from the different advancing, the different areas. Also from some of these actions you get energy. This is where your superpower, your character's battle ability comes into play. Once I get to 4 energy, I can spend that 4 energy, so I would be circling along the way, and then I would X them out as I spend them, and that gets me 2 swords. I like that ability. The wizard has some stunning ability, the stun, which I think might be my favorite thing. The stun only shows up on special things here on your character sheet and in your actions. What a stun does, you get to X off one of the enemy's icons their next action. So if I were to get a stun in this very first roll, I would cross off this sword, and then for me, the enemy wouldn't activate that thing. Max saying, so do we lose a shield or a heart when they attack us? Depends on what the attack is. So if it's a sword attack, you'll first lose your shield, and then if you don't have any shield, then you would lose a heart. If it's a bow and arrow, it bypasses your shield and you're going to lose a heart. So shields are not as good as hearts. So if you have the option between the two, choose the heart. Okay, that's stunning. Stunning is so fun because sometimes it just means the enemy doesn't do anything on their turn and gives you another turn to keep doing your stuff. Energy, and then I mentioned victory points before. The star is just victory points at the end. Okay, are we all right? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Mac, you got it. Yep. So this is, I was playing last 2 weeks ago, and it was really hard. Like, it felt really bad to like lose a lot. Because if you run out of hearts, you have to be revived. You aren't gonna die, don't worry. Those are not your dog's bones, those are bones for your dog. In this game too, you will get a chance to revive yourself. Here's how this works. I don't think anyone got knocked out last round. I shouldn't have said that, because now if you get knocked out, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm the only person that's gotten knocked out. It's okay. Because there actually is a little bit of strategy to that, because when you get knocked out, it's bad because you lose some points, but you get 3 hearts when you revive. So let me explain how it works. Say the enemy attacks, you lose your last heart. No, the next roll, the same dice are rolled, but with the 2 dice, with one you still do your advancing in one of the areas, still getting any bonuses you normally would. Here's where it's bad. With the other die that you would do your action, you will instead choose that number, and one of the icons in that number that you have unlocked or that you you X off and you can't use it for the rest of the game. So if, let's say it was this situation, I use the 2 in this B zone, then the 5, I'll have to X off this sword and I won't get that bonus in the future. And then you mark an X here to show that you had to be revived, and that'll be -2 points at the end. And then you get 3 hearts, and then you're back in it. The enemy does his action next, and then you're back in it. Okay. I think we're ready. So if you look here in the top right corner, you have 1 special power use on this page. In the future, you may get more, but just for this first room, you have 1. So I need to remember that I can change a die to a 5 with that. I can flex. A little insider info, if you didn't notice about your sheets, the rogue cares a lot about 1s and 2s. So his numbers, her numbers kind of fit, strategy fits with a 1 and 2 strategy. The wizard cares about the number 3 and 4. And the warrior cares a lot about the number 5 and 6. Great. That's right. So there will be 4 bow and arrow damage along the way. So if you never get another heart and you're just getting shields, you will get knocked out at some point. So you can plan ahead. This is relevant too. There's kind of, sometimes the rolls, they aren't super aggressive, or maybe what's been happening, it didn't play out and you're not dealing a lot of damage to the ogre. If you get down to the end and you can't defeat the ogre, it's okay. You'll still get to score at the end. It's just that you won't get that major 10-point bonus for knocking out the ogre, which is kind of that's how you can really jump up to the next campaign score goal. All right. Are we ready? I think I'm ready. Can we get a thumbs up? Are we all right? And it'll make more sense too. Oh yeah, the stun one. I said it pretty quick, Mac. The stun, when you activate it, let's say we got it this very first turn. You get to X out the enemy's next action, one of their icons. Which the ones that have double icons, like double shield, double sword, there's none that where it's a sword and a shield for this enemy. That'll be more relevant in the future where there's multiple icons and then you can choose one to stun. So this is a battle room. The next room is not a battle room, but these will kind of be sporadic as we go along. The stun, in all honesty, it's my favorite. It feels so great to stun. It's like thumbs up. Very good. Hashtag thumbs up. I think we're ready. Did I explain everything? We got it. Oh, here we go on the adventure. Here's our first roll. With the lucky dice, it is a 1 and a 4 for the first round. And I'm going to talk away here as I play. And you could do your thing. And if I'm going too fast, if you'll just let me know, we'll make sure to slow it up. Everything's not a hashtag. Steph, oh my gosh, so meta. Thank you, Mac. Good luck, Sunday crew. So I have a 1 and a 4 to start. So I could go ahead and start to advance here in this D area. Well, I really want the 4 though for the stun, talking about the stun. So I could put a 1 in the B zone. That would kind of get me on my way there. I think I'll do that. Or I could just get a heart. It's the same difference, getting a heart or getting the... So I actually am going to use the 4 in the D area. And I'll X off that exact number. That unlocks a lightning for me, an energy. And then with the other die, I will bring it down here to the action zone, and that gains me a heart. I didn't explain this part, but I found that it's easiest to keep track of what you have, what you still have available and what you've used, is if you go from left to right. That's why there's a little arrow here and here. So as I deal damage to the ogre, I'm not going to start over here and go this way. I found it's easier to start from the left and go to the right. The same is true for like adding shields, or down here, like when I lose a heart, I'll X off here and be working that way. Whatever works for you, but that's just what I found in playtesting has been the most efficient. Okay, makes sense? We all right? I can't forget that at any point I can change a die to a 5, and you have one of those for your superpower. I really want to get my energy up. Here's, just real quick, my achievement is in a battle deal 5 or more damage in 1 round. So I think what I'm going to plan to do is I'm going to try to get 8 energy on 1 turn, or save up 8 energy throughout the game. That's good. And then spend both of them, spend all 8 energy to do double strike twice, quadruple strike, yeah, sure, quadruple strike, and hopefully I'll have another sword so I can deal 5 damage all in 1 turn. 5 or more damage 1 round, yep. I want to get that achievement. So that really can boost my character for future rounds. All right, so now the enemy is going to act. The enemy is going to deal 1 sword damage. So we come down to our hero stats. The first thing we lose is shield, so I'll cross off my shield here. So currently I just have 4 hearts and no shields. All right, roll 2. We have a 3 and a 4. Mac, thank you. Yeah, good question. So that I may need to change that in the future, but the idea is that here for your character special power, this would be kind of like your stock. So this is like letting you know what it should be for your character. So that, say I have 2 of these unlocked, this is not for me to use for the room, but it's for me to, when I start the next time, that I actually add it to this sheet. And that's a little confusing, you're right. And then I would have that many uses. So we only have 1 use. This is just telling you what to set the usage to for that round. Yeah, it's confusing. Actually, that should probably be down somewhere else. Cool. Maybe it should just be X'd on that one, and then that tells you how to unlock it. Or if you have another thought of how to make that clear. Wow, level 17 in the crew. That's hard to do. Oh, I'm not familiar with the sequel. I think if you moved up the B's under that, it would help. Okay, thank you. That's helpful. Ooh, thank you, Mac. Okay, so thank you. So with these special powers here, so really just flex right now, coordinates with this special power. Your battle abilities in a battle room, that's the only place that they're relevant, and you can use these as many times as you're able if you have the energy to spend to do it. So the only way I can flex is by spending my special power, which are limited use. With my battle abilities, I can spend them as many times as I want in a room as long as I spend the energy to do so. Yeah, does that make sense? It's confusing. So there's little icons here, but they're not really clear. There's like a little person with a sword that's supposed to show like a battle ability. And then here it's got like the little power symbol. Correct. You got it. You got it, Mac. That's it. All right, so 3 and 4. So I could stun. The enemy's going to deal sword damage. You know, I'm going to spend the 3 in the D zone, and that gives me a shield. Also sets me up for that bone, which I'm a fan of. And then I'll use the 4 down here, and that does a stun. So with the stun, I look at the next enemy action, and I get to X off one of those icons. So for me, he's not going to deal that sword damage. Awesome. Excellent. All right, there we go. All right, so now the enemy's going to act, so deals a sword damage. So if you have a shield, it absorbs it. If not, you'll take a heart damage. And then we're looking at roll 3. Here we go. Roll 3 is a 3 and a 5. Roll 3 is a 3 and a 5. I kind of want to start getting some swords in here. I also really want to unlock some of these dice. Where's the other 5? It's up here. Should I just get the bone? I feel like the bone actually should be one of the last things I do because I want to upgrade my stats faster. The faster I upgrade, the more efficient I'll be. You know? So, why don't we... I need the energy, right? So I'm going to put the 3 here. That gives me an energy right away. Then with the 5, I'll put it down here. That lets me deal a sword damage. So I'll X off one of the ogre's hearts. Ah, very good, Chantel. It feels good to get that bone, doesn't it? I want it to be that it's not too hard, but it's a little bit of a stretch to get it. But also that it doesn't revolve around getting the bone. So they're kind of fun. All right, are we all right? So now the enemy is going to activate. For me, that is 2 shields. Oh, very good. Is M Peoples printing some 3D things? He's the champ. 3D printing. All right, here's roll 4. A 5 and a 5. I like this. So I think I'm going to put 1 5 here in the D again and get a star. That's 1 victory point. With the other 5, I'll put it down here for the sword. Crew, you may be wondering, so that takes off a shield. What happens after I knock out the ogre? That's a great question because I didn't explain that in the rules. Here is what will happen. Once you knock the ogre out, for you personally, the ogre does not get to do any more actions. It's knocked out. But you keep playing, and you keep trying to get the most points possible with the dice that are rolled. Because at the end of the game, you score 10 points if you knocked out the ogre. You score 1 point for every star that you got. You score 1 point for every heart remaining. Not hearts that you collected over the whole game, but hearts that you have left. You get 1 point for every 2 energy. You get 2 points for every bone you found. And then you get -2 points for every time you had to be revived. Cool. So we'll keep playing, and it makes it at the end that the swords are not super relevant, but you were able to kill the monster quickly if you went a sword strategy. All right. The enemy's going to activate. That means Ogre's getting 2 more shields. Shielding up. We're in trouble. Got some higher rolls. Haven't seen any 6s yet. Here's roll 5. It is a 3 and a 6. Speaking of the 6, 3 and a 6. I'm very happy about this roll. This roll is great. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to use this 6 in the D zone. I'm going to unlock the one that has the number sign. So that means I get to choose any one of the areas. And I feel like because of the 5s, where's the other 6? Ooh. I think I'm just going to unlock this one. So I do the leftmost one. So I'll do this one for the shield. And then with the 3, I will get a shield. Also, this is rare, but if I say I was able to fill up this 5 zone and I unlocked a 5 die, because if I've used the any number ones, then you just choose any number you want. It becomes a wild. All right. The ogre is going to act, and it is dealing a bow and arrow damage. So I lose a heart. Straight to the heart. Cannot defend against the bow and arrow. Look how angry he is. What a mean ogre. We all right? We're looking at roll 6. Has anyone defeated the ogre? I don't think it's possible yet. Some folks, though, they can do a lot of work. Well, 3 and a 3. That doesn't give me a ton of choices. All good here. Very good. Y'all, I am so close. Thanks to M. Peebles with the shout-outs. Thank you for the many subscribers. He's encouraged a lot of folks to subscribe. I'm like 6 away from 50 subscribers, which you know is like the thing for affiliate for Twitch, and all the emotes and all that fun stuff. So thank you for your subscriptions. That I'm just shocked at that. And Peebles, thanks for the shout out. All right, 3, and that lets me unlock the 5. Here is what I'm setting up for. If I can get one more wild unlock, then my 5s are amazing. I really hope I can do that. And the last one in the 5 is 3 energy. That's pretty wild. With that 3, I get a shield. I know, so close. All right. Mac was already doing the math. Mac was looking out over, well, if I only, there's only so many swords. You can plan it out. Some of the upcoming monsters you will not know what their attacks will be. It will be dependent upon the dice that are rolled. AI in games, the system that is set up for games is interesting. There's some really good AI in solo games out there. Uh-oh, Chantel, it's okay if you get knocked out. Don't fret. Did you get it? What's the achievement for that? Is it 5? You're almost there, Peebles. Yeah, it's 5. You can do it. You can do it. All right. The enemy's going to act with a sword attack, so my shield will absorb it. I have 2 shields and 3 hearts left. We're on roll 7 here. It's a 1 and a 4. That was our first roll of the game. 1 and a 4. If you notice too, some of them, like the B zone, has just straight up bow and arrows. When you unlock that, it just deals the damage immediately. Thanks, Will. That's really nice. You didn't have to do that. That's what I've just found a lot of. Y'all are so great. It's just been really, this has been a joy to get to do this. Highlight of the past year, right? So I could put a 4 into this heart area. I might do this. I kind of, what I did last time is I upped a lot of these and then I just made it so I was very consistent. I kind of almost want to not do that. And I want to like put I want to be really good at a couple things and not waste my energy otherwise. So I'm going to put a 4 in here because it's 1 or less than 3. That gives me a heart. All about the hearts. And then with the other one, I will get a heart. It's really helping. I don't think there is a chance I could get knocked out still, but a turn like that really does help. Now the question is am I going to be able to defeat this ogre? Because their action is to gain a shield. Here we are. He gained his shield. Okay. You know, I just downloaded, I've been using old school OBS. I just downloaded the Streamlabs OBS, so I'll be messing around with that this week. Hopefully that'll work. And a better webcam. Yeah, that's the problem, Steph. Yeah, I think with our wizard strategy on Thursday night, we were able to cancel a lot of shields, and so it made it a lot easier to defeat him. But man, I mean, he's just going to max out on him. Do you like it? Is it good? Yeah. Show off. Claire commenting. Claire can post. Oh my gosh, Claire, the hype is too high here. You're like royalty. It's like you step into the room and there's like this air, like everyone's like, oh my gosh, is it her? Is it real? Or is it the hired Claire? It's the real deal, crew. It did. It's real. All right, here's roll 8. Here we go. 4 and a 6. Okay. OBS live stream elements, much better than Streamlabs. Okay. Is that the one that it runs through like a website? I think you've mentioned that one before. I'll have to see. I'll test it out this week. That's really helpful. Use Streamlabs OBS. Okay. Do you like it all right, Jay? Has it been all right for you? So I kind of want to. Oh, yeah. What am I going to do? I have a 4 and a 6. I think I'm going to use the 6 here. I think I'm going to just go high rolls. And that unlocks this sword. Yep, because it had an unlock 6. And then with the 4, I like to put the dice here. That helps me remember. With the 4, I got a stun. I've done 2 stuns so far. I'm not really pushing too hard towards my strategy of getting a bunch of energy and dealing a lot of damage on a turn. Doesn't mean I still can't get it. We'll see. Matt, good question. The sword, first it checks for the shield. If they have a shield, you X off a shield. If they don't have a shield, then it deals a heart damage. Yes, you got it. It may just be the type of player I am in these kind of games, but stunning, I like that a lot. That came later from a play test, and once that got added in, I really like stunning. All right, here we go. Roll 9. Oh, I'm sorry. The enemy acts and will gain a shield. I had stunned it, so that's why I just jumped into the roll. Roll 9 is a 1 and a 4. I could just stun again. I do like that. You know, I do want some of this energy. That is great. So I'm going to use the 1 here. Correct, Mac. Yep. So same as for you with your shields. The way it works is that you absorb the sword damage first with the shield. If you don't have a shield, then you take a heart. That's where the bow and arrow is just better than the shield. It bypasses any shields you may have. Shot through the heart. You're to blame. Give love. A bad name. And then 4, I'm going to stun. So I'm not taking that bow and arrow damage. So this does help me. I really do not like rolls that are 1, 2s, and 4s. I mean, 4 is fine. You know what number has not been rolled yet is a 2. We have not had a single 2. Okay, Steph, you're on 3s. I'll try my best. I'm okay with 3s now. We have not had any 2s, which is very awkward because if you notice in this D zone, I'm just waiting for a 2 to be rolled. It has not. All right, the enemy axe is going to deal a bow and arrow damage, so lose a heart if that is active for you. Check the dice. What are they? I love it. All right, roll 10. Here we go. 6 and a 6. Just as we were talking about some low rolls, forget it. You're not getting them. This is really rare. Besides being able to flex, which I'm not going to do right now, I don't have a choice. I have to put it in the A because I've used all the 6s in the D zone. My C can't go up to the 6. In the B zone, it has to be 5 or less. These are it. These dice are so lucky. I do love specialty dice. I don't know about you. I just love dice, just as is. But I'm a sucker for specialty dice. I like these pink ones a lot. They've done well. I did that, and then the other 6 is going to be 2 sword damage. It's going to deal shield damage first. Yeah, I love some specialty dice. I have, I wanted to, we don't have a ton of space where we live, so I'm in the corner of one of our rooms here. It's like a little stream area. I use it for work also. But I wanted to put like some shelving up, and I've got these 2 giant wooden dice and some other fun items, but I just think it's a little too close. I could bonk my head on it. Maybe I'll just roll those giant wooden dice one time. All right, the enemy's going to act. It's 2 sword damage, so we are losing 2 shields. We are down to 5 hearts. How are we? Has anyone defeated the ogre? Are we close? All right, roll 11 is a 1 and a 1. We are having very odd rolls here. Not a lot of choices. Well, you know, this is odd. Rarely do I ever put a 1 in the A zone, but if you notice what it is, I get 1x here, but I'm unlocking the 1 die. This is that situation I talked about in the rules. And now, since I unlock that 1 first, when I do my action, I will get both of these. So I will gain a heart, and I will get 2 energy. That's good. That's good. Yeah, Chantel, I'm with you. I'm with you. It kind of shifts in this battle, just so you know. Oh, wow. Jay, you're doing great. You're doing great. There's kind of this moment where it feels kind of hopeless, and hopefully it shifts to where you're starting to get a little more output in your actions. And once the shields are gone, then you can really start to get there. Mac, very good. If you unlock that bow and arrow, there's 1 in the D zone. There's also 3 in the B zone. It's an right now, use it bow and arrow against the enemy. So the enemy loses a heart. Me too. Yeah, me too. Really, if you look, I've only dealt 4 damage. But I hopefully, I think I'm just setting up for just a major turn. We will see. All right, the enemy's going to shield up. Oh, shield, shield. Don't worry. We actually just crossed the halfway point last roll. So we're doing all right. We're upgrading our character. It's like we're powering up. Jojo, yep, so you have 8 energy. You can just spend that energy at any point. You can do it right now. You can spend your 4 energy. I can't remember which one you are. Are you the rogue? Are you the warrior? Yeah, isn't that crazy, Mac? No 2s yet. Yeah, Steph, it's funny that rogue, it's got a little bit more of the spiness of it, and it's tough that there haven't been any 2s, so it's actually been a tough round for the rogue. But yeah, so you can use both those right now, Jojo, if you want to deal a heart damage and a heart damage because it's a bow and arrow for it, and also you get a star and a star for each one. Really, there's no reason to not do that unless I guess there'd be other factors in a future room, but for right now, it's kind of like go for it. I guess one reason to not do it would be to, well, no, actually, it would be the reason to, yeah. Yeah, good, 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 good. All right. My ogre did his action, got 2 shields. Here's roll 12. Hopefully we're able to start turning the tide. There still have been no 2s. What an odd game here with no 2s. So I have a 4 and a 6. Wait. Is it? I got to get that bone still. We have been pretty reliant upon the dice rolls. That's kind of the issue here. I think I need to start to deal the damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not very good. I'm going to put the 4 here in the B zone, and all that does is just gives me a star, but sets me up for a future turn. Then with the 6, I'm going to deal 2 sword damage. So I'll take away 2 shields. That's it. Wait, look, proof. Proof. I promise there are 2s. It was, I think Thursday night we were missing a number also. All right, so the enemy's going to act. I'm already set to roll, but the enemy is going to deal 2 sword damage. Oi. I don't have any shields to block it, so I lose 2 hearts. I have none of 4 hearts. I'm gonna get knocked out here soon if I don't do something about it. 3 and a 5, still no 2s. 3 and a 5. I do like the 5. So I'm going to put the 3 in here and get an energy. I'm putting it in the C area. And then with the 5, I'll do my action, and that is to get a shield, which I desperately needed here, and then deal 2 sword damage. All right, I have knocked out the shields. I just need to deal, I know, right? Did you see? I brought it away, and then I had another pair of my trick pink dice, and I put those in. So we just need to deal just 9 heart damage. I know. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. If I wait, I'm saving my flex. And I'm going to wait until the last moment to get the bone at the very least, just so I can try to upgrade things first. That may be wrong. But as long as I have my flex, at least for the warrior, I will be able to get the bone. So that's what it's like, well, I think I'll be okay, he says. All right, so the enemy's going to act, deal us a sword damage. Good thing we got that shield. We have 4 hearts left. Here's roll 14. A 1 and a 1. Still no 2s. What are the odds? Do we have any mathematicians out there? Any folks that are good with odds? Yeah. Oh, Steph. You can snag 1 in the D area, or you can just try to get some hearts. I hope you can get them. Yeah, because there are no more shield. It's all damage the rest of the way here. So 1 and a 1. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I'm gonna put this one in the D zone. I'm gonna try to rush some damage. That has been 1 damage so far. And I'll go down here and get a heart and 2 more energy. We're 1 energy away from being able to use our ability twice. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're pretty close to defeating the enemy. Yeah, I'm curious, what are over 20 rolls with 2d6, what are the odds of not rolling one of those number signs? Oh no. Steph! You might get to experience the revive. Tell us how that is. All right, the enemy's going to act and deal 2 sword damage. I'm down to 3 hearts. Here's roll 15. We're getting to where some folks might be able to defeat the monster depending on it. 1 and a 4. Still no 2s. Uh-oh. 1 and a 4. So just to do some math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I going 1s all of a sudden? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the 4 into the C zone, and that gives me a wild number of any one of my choice. And I think I'm going to unlock the 1. The leftmost of the 1, which gives me a stun, so that I can use this one to get a heart and 2 energy and to stun that sword. That buys me a little more time. Steph, are you alive? You making it? Oh, and Peebles, you're almost there. I really am going to have to convert here. I've got a guaranteed 4. I think this next roll, I really hope is a good one. Sorry if you've gone on in a 2 strategy. Just roll 3s. Here we go. Staggering along. Oh, good. It's close. Steph, you had the most dramatic finish last time. You defeated the ogre on roll 20, which is like, that's so fun. It made it right down to the wire. I say that's fun. I hope it was fun. All right, the ogre's going to act and deal a sword damage if you have it. It's not active for me here. Here's roll 16. 4 and a 4. Ugh. Ugh. That's actually just bad. Am I going to have to use my flex? I guess it's a stun. I don't know. What are y'all thinking? I'm feeling... Ooh. We are suffering from very limited on the dice rolls here, right? I'm going to stun, but it's just for 1. Do you see this? It's feast or famine. I actually don't want 2s now, which is kind of awkward. But I mean, the 2s are good because I'm kind of pigeonholed over here. Ooh, you're almost there, Jojo. Yeah. Yeah, so it is a little awkward for this first room with a lack of not having any unlocks there. So the enemy axe does a bow and arrow if you have that active. Here's roll 17. 3 and a 5. Still no 2s. It's unreal. It's unreal. I gotta grab this bone. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where's the other 5? Oh, it's all the way there. Ooh, you got it. You got it, you got it. I'm worried about death. Yeah, I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I think I'm going to do my turn where I can deal a lot of damage. Yeah. So first I'm going to put the 3 into the C zone. That gives me a heart. That's helpful. Then the 5, I'm going to deal 2 sword damage and gain a shield. So here's my shield. Here is just, I'm going to put this here so I can remember that for this turn. I've dealt 1, 2. 2 heart damage so far. I'm going to use my double strike ability here. So I'll spend 4 energy and deal 2 more damage. And I'll use my double strike again, deal 2 more heart damage. So I'm down to 2 hearts. And that's my achievement. And about to deal 5 more damage in 1 round. So I'm very happy about that. Okay. So I potentially could knock out the ogre this next round. Did you do it? Oh, well done. Well done. You did it round 17. That's great. Still have 4 more. I don't know, Steph. Hang in there. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe the dice will go your way. All right, the enemy's attacking. So if you have defeated the ogre, it no longer does any actions. So just ignore the red icons from now on. Now you're just trying to get a high score by collecting more stars, hearts, and energy. For every 2 energy is a point. For every heart and star is just a point for each one. All right, so I lose a shield and a heart. I'm down to 4 hearts. Here's roll 18. 1 and a 5. Still no 2s. The unreal thing here. But I can defeat the monster. I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use the... Oh, but I gotta snag that bone. I still have flex. So I'm going to put the 1 into the B zone. That gives me a star. And then I'm going to use the 5 down here as the action. So that gives me a shield, which isn't relevant really anymore. And then 2 damage! Alright, here's where I did it. Defeated the ogre. I'm going to go ahead and put 10 points down here for that. Alright. So then now I'm thinking, Jojo, you did it! Come on, Steph, you can do it. Was your ogre? Your ogre was Mac all along. Yes, that's right, Jay. So the ogre doesn't do any stuff anymore, but now you're just trying to, through your stats down here, try to maximize getting the most points. It's like you're searching the room, maybe. It's like you're like catching your breath. Uh-oh, Chantel. Are you all right? How can we help? Yay, yay, yay. All right, the enemy's going to act. I've knocked out the enemy, so no actions. This is roll 19. Chantel, are we okay? Yes, you can. Yes. So you'll get to stun and deal, is it a sword damage? Yep, your stunning strike. Yep. Good job, Mac. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Down to the wire here. You can do it, Claire. Let's see if this roll. What do you need? What number? Here's 19. 3 and a 4. Still no 2s. Still no 2s. 3 and a 4. So what is going to get me the most points? Yeah, that's not too bad. I think I'm going to put... I cannot believe there have been no 2s. That really is awkward. I'm going to put the 4 in here. That gives me an energy. For every 2 energy at the end, it's a point. And the 3 over here is good. Shields don't matter in the end, but I'll go ahead and mark it. And then I get 2 energy, and then a sword just does nothing. So maybe we need like a little ogre minion that you can beat up on to get a couple extra points at the end. All right. The ogre is going to act and deal a bow and arrow damage if the ogre is still with it. This is the last roll. I cannot forget to flex at the end of this to get my bone. That's no matter what, I'm getting a bone. It's just we'll see what the options are. Oh no, you did it. Oh no, that's okay. But you got him. Claire, this is it. You know what this roll is going to be? It's going to be 2 2s. It's totally going to be 2 2s. Because of all this no 2s, it's all in the last roll here. I can't believe we finally, can't believe we finally got it. A 2 and a 6. If you needed it, Now is the time. That is wild. I cannot get over that. That is just wild to me. Wow. All right, well, I am definitely converting this 6 into a 5. I'm going to flex. So I mark it on the character sheet here that I'm spending it. No. Forget I said that. I said it wrong. I'm marking it on the battle, on the room sheet. I don't mark it on my character sheet. I'm marking it on the room here. And that changes the 6 to a 5. And got the bone. I'm going to go ahead and mark it. I got the bone that was in the room that has nothing to do with the dog that's been captured. It's just going to be a nice prize for this dog. And then the 2, I will get 2 energy. All right, if you had not defeated the ogre at this point, the ogre is going to do one final big attack and deal 6 sword damage. Did you do it? Chantel! Yes. How far did you have maxed out on that? Did you have it all? So did you deal 5 damage? I have 0 hearts left on 1 shield. Oh, Steph. Oh my. Claire, you did it. Woo. Oh my goodness, did we all do it? That's great. So listen, if you made it to the end here with those 6 swords, it's kind of like there's a good chance you're going to be knocked out, and that's okay. You just will get -2 points, and then you'll revive and get 3 hearts. Wait a minute. That can't be right. Had all of them maxed in the 6. Oh, Chantel. Are you a warrior? Did you get to do the warrior dream? Oof. It's really cool when it pays off there. All right. Well, that's great. Let's total up scores, and we can see who got the high score for today. So let's see. If you defeated the ogre, it's 10 points. Don't fret if you didn't. It's all good. Then check your stars of what you've earned. I had 4. Check your hearts remaining. I have 4 left. Check your lightning bolts. For every 2, you get a point. I have 6, so I will get 3 points. I was not knocked out at all, and I had got the bone. The bone is worth 2 points in this room. It's kind of worth different amounts in each room. 10. How'd we do? Hey, that's right. You can log on BGG if that's a thing. You can share the link here. I like to do that too. I'm a logger. Ooh, Claire, you beat me by 2. I had 23. Good job. What's the high score? We had some really weird rolls this time, so we may trend towards lower scores. JoJo with 32. Well done. Oh, Chantel 27. I think I had a low score here, 23. Energy, no, Max, sorry. Energy does not round up. So if you have 3, you would just get 1 point for the 2 that you had. And Peebles with 30. All right. Well done, crew. Look at this. Whew. I'm glad this room wasn't too hard. What if it was like no one defeated the ogre? That would feel so bad. Jay, 32. JoJo and Jay have the high score so far, 32. M Peoples, the trophy, the achievement is just for your character sheet, which let's get to that now. Is everyone good with your... So you lose, Mac. Mac, we're all winners. But if we are looking at who had the highest score today, that would be JoJo and Jay. But you and I are right there at the bottom. But don't fret about that. All right, here's the deal. On this character sheet, oh, no worries. Here we go. So let's look here at the campaign score. Each room will have this at the end. So say you had some bad rolls that didn't work out and you had to be revived, you didn't defeat the ogre, you may have a lower score, 1 to 13. Your campaign score would be 3. So I'm going to go to my character sheet. Oh my goodness, do I have space? I'm going to write my score of 23 in right here to the right of that. So your room score goes to the right of that room here. Okay? Then your campaign score, it converts. So with my 23, I'm within the threshold here of that, so my campaign score is 4. If you score 25 or more, your campaign score is 5. So write that in, okay? Oh my gosh. I know, right? What if she's just trolling you? Like whatever you put, like, yeah, I got that too. What was your score? Oh yeah, I got that, but it was one more than it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's look over here at the character sheet now, and that'll help. So check for if you got your bone, make sure that you circle that on your character sheet. Hooray. So for every point from your campaign score, you get 1 skill point. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I hit an upgrade along the way. So now I get to upgrade one of these abilities. Listen, I'm a warrior. I feel like I'm going strength. So right now I X that. Now I have 1 strength within that and 0 dexterity and 0 intelligence. Now, I also unlock this achievement. You can only unlock an achievement once per campaign, but I did it for this one, and it has this little symbol. I get 3 skill tree points. 6-star bonus. Wait, what? Where's my 6-star bonus? Did I miss something? I wish. That would have put me up to 5 campaign points. That would have been great. So I get 3 more. Now, with the warrior, you have no decisions yet for your skill tree. You're just moving straight ahead. It's kind of a warrior's way. With the wizard, you're kind of getting, you branch off and you get to kind of choose some paths to go down. With the rogue, you have a lot of choices with your daggers. So I add 3, 1, 2, 3. I get another upgrade. You know, I'm going all in on this strength stat. So I'm up to 2 strength in my skill. Oh, good. So you may have that on your, yep, you're right. So you know what, Mac? Each one of these characters, their achievements are all unique. So for the warrior, he's really being encouraged to do a lot of damage in a battle. With the rogue, the stars, for simplicity across all the rooms, the stars represent victory points. In any room that you come to, the star is going to be victory points. In the original battle, the stars were actually gold coins. But there are some, oh, did you get polymorph? Ooh, that's great. So if, and Peebles is saying he unlocked his polymorph ability, so now he's able to use his superpower for changing a die to a 3 or changing it to a 4. Yeah. So the achievement for that is the rogue is to get 6 or more stars in a battle. So that kind of sets you down a certain path of trying to gain those that way. But they used to be gold coins. It's kind of like you're, being a thief, doing your thing. But there's a couple rooms later where coins make sense for spending in that room. So it's just kind of converted. All stars is the gist. All right. So that's it for the rooms. Are we good on that and upgrading your skill tree? This is exciting. How did you manage that, MP? Uh-oh. He's a superstar. Uh-oh. You're getting called out, MP. Chantel's got you. I think that's good, Claire. A strength and a brain. That's what your rogue needs. I know. I usually need dice to help me decide that. When it's up to me, it's that's the thing about, D&D is that you get to B2. Excellent. So you got duplicate. Yeah, very good. Duplicate's cool. You get to change a die to the other die's value. So those times that you're really going all in on a certain strategy where you need the same numbers, that'll help. Okay. Hey, we did it! You know what we need to read? Some story. Oh my goodness. What's going to happen here? Here is our story for the end of this room. The ogre falls to one knee, defeated, grunting, barg, which loosely translates to You have bested me, you noble fighter of what is good and right. For I was only trying to find my stuffed teddy bear. I think that purple creature took it. You must forgive me in my confusion. My teddy bear is truly my most cherished possession. Please, oh please, will you save it for me? The ogre, looking especially exhausted, begins to tilt further and further, falling over to the ground. Then begins snoring. It looks like you might need to rescue a dog and a stuffed teddy bear. You hop over the ogre's sleeping body and rush down the steps, further down the dungeon, deeper into the darkness. Bum, bum, bum. Tune in next week for Room 2, Grapple the Chasm. Oh my. Crew, we did it. What'd you think? Oh, don't go yet. This is so important. Are you ready? This is what you came here for a survey. For real though. Listen, this is just it's free. It's for us to kind of experience together, free purposefully for fun adventure through this pandemic. But there's a survey for feedback because, you know, I have a game group that we play test via Zoom, and they've been along me through this journey through the past months behind the scenes. Shout out to them. Uh, but I would love your feedback in regards to like your score, who you're playing as, kind of all that stuff. I think about this, no way am I like Jamie Stegmeyer, Stonemeyer Games, but with Tapestry, they did this, that board game, that you could log your stats every time you play, and you logged which, what is it, class or not class, your leader, which leader you are, and what your score was, and also like how big your score was. And then they came out with updates later. But just that, you know, this is kind of a work in progress, in all honesty, and so there may be some tweaks along the way. There's also a spot there for feedback of like, hey, I liked this thing a lot, or hey, I did not like this at all. Because there are things that I think are fun, but actually may not be fun for a lot of other people. So I would love your feedback there. Also, here's the thing about same bat time, same bat channel. Claire, I was about to say that. That's exactly right. Please, that's great. At the end of that survey too, just because to have some involvement, room 5, there are going to be a lot of these little characters on it. There's going to be some gnomes. There's going to be some shroomers. And if you would like to have a name on one of those, if you would like to name one of the gnomes or the shroomers, you can do that with the survey. Listen, you don't have to fill out anything else on the survey. If you just want to name someone, that's great. There's nothing about an email on it or anything like that. Looks at wall. But if you, I just thought it would be fun to name them. And so you could have that be your name, or it could just be your Twitch name, or, oh, Jay, do you hear that? We have an edit. Jay officially won here in the game. Way to go, Jojo. Thank you. Thank you for that edit. I do love that wall. What would be the most absurd thing for me to turn the camera and then to have something on the wall that actually is the true thing? I'm saying it's this map of all these different rooms. What would be the actual like thing that for me to turn it, for you to be like, oh my gosh, that's what he's been staring at? Like, would be that Rickroll, the Rickroll guy? Or just, I don't know. Hey, thank you, M. Peebles. But I say all that if you wanna name one of these characters, or if you want to name it in honor of someone else too, I just ask that you keep it appropriate. You know, that it's something that's not that would be okay. Or if you want to put in a fun name or things like that, you can choose to name either the gnome or the shroomer. Fun adventure. Oh my goodness, this has been a delight. Thank you, crew. So there's the survey. I shared that link. Here's the last thing. Um, here's the other reason. Started this whole journey. It's so cool that M Peebles is here and the M Peebles crew. Because when uh, this pandemic started, it's been tough for a ton of folks. Just real talk. Um, it's been tough on in so many different ways. So just as a personal outlet for me, I've got two daughters, and we were doing virtual school and navigating work and online stuff, and my wife's work and all that stuff. And just a creative outlet for me was to be able to make some of these roll and write games, these one-page roll and writes. So when it was helpful for just me personally to do it. But then also I was like, let's make it free, and it'll be a thing. Can feature a nonprofit. If just put it out into the board game universe for folks to play. There's a whole movement of folks that roll and writes and print and play games. I'm like, well, if this is a helpful distraction for some folks, that's great. So anyways, that's what's kind of led to this point. And the moment that M People has played one of my games, oh my gosh, that was a highlight of last year. What a cool thing. Thanks, Mac. Mac, thanks for keeping JoJo accountable. But anyways, I just was like, well, what if I highlight a nonprofit? And so a lot of folks are struggling now financially. A lot of folks are struggling in regards to food. And so for Dice of the Darkness, I'm just going to highlight here locally. I live in North Carolina in the U.S., the Forsyth Backpack Program. And so if you're able, if you're interested, you can support them. There's the link to it. You're the man. You're the man. I'm gonna start crying. This is too sweet. So you can support the Foresight Backpack Program. There's a lot of kids that are hungry in our area, and this is for especially kids that are on like free and reduced lunch. They go to school, they get lunch there, but then what happens on the weekend when they don't have access to that? So they send them home with a backpack of food on Friday, so they can have food for the weekend. So you can support them, support towards a backpack, or support a whole backpack for a year, for a season, or you know what? Just support your local food bank. There's a lot of ways to do that. I know there have been these like blessing boxes that have been popping up in neighborhoods that it's kind of like a lending library where you would put a book in, but now it's like food. So it's emergency food for folks in your area. Whatever it is for you in your context. Very good. Hey, this has been a delight. Thanks for the laughs and the fun and for the survey. We'll be back next week for room 2, which I'm just going to finish up the rules, but the room's done. I was working on the art for it last night. It's all set. It's ready to roll. So it's thank you. Thank you, dear pupils. Also, here's the gist too. This battle room, maybe you played this and you're like, I hated that. That was not my jam. Good news. Each room is going to have a very different feel to it. Still with this like 2 dice that you're rolling to journey on, playing together like in the same way, but they're all pretty different. And so I want it to be simple enough that on your first play you can have a good experience. But if you hate the room, good news. Turn the page. We got another room coming the next week. But more that we can just kind of journey together and have a good time on this adventure. Y'all, we made it. How long did we stream for here? An hour and 40 some minutes. This has been great. Room 7, the party room. I love it. And if you want to try to get some spoilers, at the bottom of your character page, it has some hints at the rooms to come. That's the cleaning my car room. Claire, we can work that out. It's like, all right, here's this room. The only way you can advance is go out to your car right now and clean it. Okay, good. And we'll wait right here until you finish, M. Peebles, and come on out. Ah, very good, Chantel. We had a lot of Shrek jokes, or Shirk jokes, or Cress jokes. This is not a promo stream. Hashtag not promotional for Shrek. But Shrek is a good movie. I do want to go watch that now. I'll never finish that room, says Steph. Yeah, me either. Uh, do we need to clean the whole street scars? I am. I do think there's this one. It's not really a game. It's from Game Right. They put out these great, really creative games that are great for the whole family and for kids. But they made this deck of cards called Sneaky Cards, which it has like a mission on the card, and it kind of breaks the fourth wall. It kind of breaks what a board game is. It's more of like these like interactive cards. So it'll be like put this card in a book in the library, in a favorite book or something like that. And so then someone will find this card when they're looking through a book, and then when they find the card, the prompt is for them to take that card and to put it in another book. And so it's kind of like the sneaky cards. That's the gist. I think there's a lot of fun design space of that. I think there's like a roll and write like life game that kind of breaks that wall of in order to unlock things in the game you need to do things in real life. I don't know quite what that would be. Maybe it's like, yes, yes, it's exactly that. Thank you. That is exactly it. If you aren't familiar with geocaching, it is this whole movement that I just discovered like 2 years ago, is this underground thing that you could be driving by this thing your whole life, but there's a secret geocache that's there that someone has done. It's like an adventure. You can find their apps out there, and there's all these movements of geocaching. Yeah, it's basically that idea, and people. That's probably why it's in my mind. Or like you unlock this ability if you go on a 20-minute walk, or if you read a book, or if you I don't know what else. Turn your phone off for 30 minutes. Unplug for a little bit. Kind of a bent towards like doing that kind of stuff. How was it, Steph? You did some geocaching? Oh man, I did it for a little bit, and then I hit a wall where I had a couple that I couldn't find it, and I got frustrated. Mac, thank you. Thank you for joining in. You too. We'll be back next week, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here for Room 2. Thursday night crew, for anyone that's involved in that too, we'll be back Thursday for the premiere of Room 2, or you can just ignore all that and just plan to join in on Sunday for the premiere there. That is awesome. Yeah, geocaching. Some people get really creative. So then geocaching, you'll go to a site and it'll say, like, it'll give a sometimes very abstract clue of where this thing is. So it's very puzzly. People that love puzzles really get into it. And it'll kind of give the coordinates of where it is. So you'll just be like walking through a forest, like looking for this tree that kind of looks like this thing. And then it'll have maybe like a rock that's not a real rock. And then inside that is this hidden prize. And some of the geocaching things get really intricate. Sometimes it's just like a toy, and then like you like take it and then you replace and put another fun toy in there. I did it with my girls one time. Yeah, it's fascinating. Anyways, I think there's some fun design space, especially for roll and writes, that might be a thing. I don't know what it would be. It needs to have a good pun. Yeah, there's a whole movement of it. And you could go a pretty deep dive on YouTube. There's a lot of things on YouTube that talk a lot about geocaching. And people that like will play the video of them finding the different sites. So you can Google that and find your area. There may be someone who's made a video for your area specifically. It's more about the adventure. Wow, this has been a blast. Thanks y'all for tuning in. I'm going to do that thing where I raid somebody, right? Let me check and see who's... Look at this crew. Y'all look great. All right, let me see. Who do we have? Who's playing today? Oh my gosh. I think we're at 46 followers. 46. We're almost there. Losapalooza's playing some board games. Can I send y'all there? All right, I think we're going to land this plane. I've got a couple more things to attend to this afternoon. I hope you all have a great week. This is just a joy to get to join in on this. Save your character sheet for the weeks ahead. This is what you'll save. Your ogre, you can do whatever you want with this guy. Chantel, thanks for tuning in. Can we do I don't know how to do shout-outs yet, but shout out to M. Peebles if you are not following him. Shout out to Love of Meeples. They have a great stream also. I think I'll be able to set that up in the weeks ahead here. Shout out M. Peebles. Does it do anything? I don't think it does anything. I may need to set that up in Nightbot. Yeah, okay. But thanks, Jojo, for doing it. If you don't know it, these are some folks to follow, some great folks. All right, I'm going to send you all to Lusa. I know, right? All right, Losapalooza looks like they're playing code names. I think they do a really fun thing where they do code names with the people in their chat. I was looking at that the other day. A very cool idea. So I'll send you all there and you can say hey. All right. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe. What do I do? Raid now? All right. There y'all go.